Hi guys, welcome back to another Minimum Wager's Kitchen. I'm Gigi, and today I'm going to be testing some popular kitchen gadgets I found online for stocking stuffers, so you don't have to. So let's try them out. Today we're going to be testing 4 different kitchen gadgets, and then we're also going to be testing one appliance. These are all popular, so we'll see how they go. If you have tried these out, definitely leave me a comment. I want to know what you think. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so you're wondering, what's this fruit all about? It's not a snack, or maybe it is, we'll find out. Anyway, this is part of what we will be using for testing out our gadgets today. Alright, you guys, first gadget is going to be this Mudder 4.5 star reviewed on Amazon. This is a finger vegetable palm peeler. It comes in a pack of, it looks like 4 here, so we'll go ahead and open this up and take a look at these. Oh no, this could be dangerous. Yeah. Hey, at least it's got a little, seal here, I guess, cover. So I'll show you this real quick. So, little hand peeler here, or finger peeler. I'm going to take a look and see how this works. But yeah, it got 4.5 star reviews on Amazon, and it does say that it peels fruit, vegetables, and it also has a nice, comfortable grip. It does, and it does come in assorted colors. So I'll show you the rest of these as well. Man, I'm always amazed how much plastic is used in all this packaging. I guess, couldn't you just put it in one bag? They all have a little cover blade, so I don't know. Kind of doesn't make sense to me, but hey. If you know the answer, let me know, because that's just, wow, that's just a ton of plastic. Alright, so these are super cute. Try to open this guy. Alright, so these are super cute. So we've got the gray and orange. We've got the green and the gray. Got this nice little, I don't know, Miami's retro colors here. So yeah, little peach color, or I guess orange. Well, no, peach color, and then teal. And then this one is a seafoam green, I guess you would call it, and dark gray. So kind of cute. I like these. Could be good stocking stuffers. Starting to realize like there's a plastic bag for them so you don't slice your hand open when you reach in there. Just answered my own question, didn't I? Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and give these a try. I'll be right back so I can go ahead and wash these real quick, and that way we can go ahead and try it on these veggies. Alright guys, ready to try this out? Because I am, and I've got the cutest cucumbers for this. Aren't these adorable? This is so cute. So I figured, if it is a finger peeler, what if we use little tiny little cucumbers? And carrots! So let's go ahead and give this a shot, shall we? So it looks like the blade's just like a regular one, so as you can see, and that's how the finger part is right there. Kind of scary because maybe my fingers are small, but I feel like that's gonna happen, so I'll see what happens here. That feels like the most comfortable, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. These are so cute. Alright. Well, it seems to work just fine. It's not, they're sharp. A little awkward. I'm gonna say that. Plus 2, looking at this, maybe the mini cucumbers aren't the best thing to use for this. But as you can see, it is literally slicing so much off, and I'm really not putting that much pressure. So let's try a carrot and see how it goes with that. Alright, round two. Let's try the carrot here. Should have gotten real carrots, but, you know, again, it's tiny, so I want to just try something tiny. Alright, well that's actually working way better, so maybe it's not for the mini cucumbers, guys. It's for regular cucumbers. Bummer, but hey, look at that. Not bad. Also not bad. Alright, you guys, now we're on the second budget kitchen tool here, and this one is going to be a 3-pack. Oh my goodness. These are getting harder to say. Tizuxa. Tizuxa. This one is a 3-pack slicer, and it's for strawberries and bananas and cucumbers and whatnot. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now with this one, it looks like they have little cups with it, and then they have a little insert that goes on top to slice these. Again, more plastic. Oh no! And they're individually wrapped. Oh my. Well, I'll be back in about 2 hours. Alright, so now we're back with our second gadget here, and this one is a Tizuxa. Tizuxa 3-pack slicer. This one is supposed to be for bananas, mushrooms, and other fruits as well. This one is a slicer tool with a container. So that part comes off, and then put that right there. Slice your bananas, strawberries, whichever, and then of course, that part I don't understand because it's also a container. So I guess you have to pick it up and do that. Wondering why they didn't just put the little slicey things on the top there. Kind of would have been more interesting, easier. Probably because you wouldn't be able to get them out, huh? So we have some fancy color options here with this nice dark green. We also have this nice seafoam green and this lovely, I guess, autumn yellow. So that kind of all ties together there. Well, let's go ahead and test these out and see how they work, shall we? Alright guys, I'm back! So, let's go ahead and test this gadget out and see how this works. First off, let's go ahead and start with a strawberry, because, well, why not? So far, so good. Interesting though, I wonder if you're supposed to use the lid to go ahead and slice through it. Worked for me! Well, it worked with the strawberries. Let's take a look if we can do a couple more, like a big chunky guy. Big boy. Gotta say, it kind of smashes it a little bit. Yeah. Actually, not too bad. Here, let me show you real quick. So we've got some nice pieces. There you go. So those look alright. Not too bad. Alright, so let's go to the next item here. Let's go ahead and try one of the baby cucumbers. That should be soft enough. The only part is I'll have to give it a cut. So, got a trusty knife here. Cut this guy in half. And let's see. Oh! That was a little explosive. It worked, but yeah. Kind of scared. Here, I'm gonna use this. Not sure that that's what you're supposed to use. Ooh. Yeah, not so much for that. I don't know about that. So I would say for typical veggies, I'm gonna say it's not gonna work for this. You can try. But yeah, maybe soft things. Not so much. Yeah, that's not even. Nope, not slicing my fingers for that. Well, that didn't work too well. Let's try the banana. That better work. Alright guys, let's try a banana. Because if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna say this one is a dump it. but let's find out. Alright, banana. Boom. Okay, that one worked alright. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, now that I got myself a couple snacks here, I will be back in just a few moments, clean this up, and we will go to the next gadget. Alright guys, so this one got a 4.1 star review, and the price ended up being $6.99 for that 3-pack. Alright guys, next budget tool, this one is going to be number 3, and this one is the, oh my gosh, another hard one to say, Jadedge? Is that right? Well, this one just says herb cutter stainless steel, but the company apparently that it's coming from is JIAEDGE. So this one is a stainless steel herb stripper, and it's supposed to peel kale, collard greens, basil, rosemary, thyme, and other herbs as well. So today I ended up working with what I had in my kitchen. I have some parsley, I've got a little bit of the rosemary, some thyme, and some sage as well. So we'll go ahead and try that out and see how this works. First off, I don't know. That's how it came. So it came in a box, and apparently it was squished. So I'm not sure if this is a return, or maybe it just kind of got squished and then thrown in the box. So I'll go ahead and show you here what it looks like. And that is the packaging. Here's the back of it with the instructions. Now, with these guys here, no instructions, nor as well with peelers. Kind of obvious. It's just this whole cup situation, and I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up, shall we? Oh. Okay, well this one at least had just that plastic, and that makes sense because it seems a little sharp. So, this is what it looks like, and it's got all the little herbs on it too, as you can see right there. And it also has this little guy as well. So, let's take a look at the instructions here. Alright, so that is a blade cover, so don't cut yourself on that, be really careful. Now, I can actually see how this could be possibly handy, I don't know, camping. Not that you would be herb picking, but this little guy right there would be pretty handy for something. Leave me a comment and tell me if you've used this on camping or for other things besides herbs. I want to know. Packaging here obviously is pretty simple. Gives you the instructions, obviously a little kale right there, and then all your herbs. So let's go ahead and try this out, shall we? Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and try this very sad looking parsley here that's been sitting out for a few moments. Maybe a little bit more than a few moments. Let me take a look and see if maybe they have parsley on which one. It doesn't show. So, I'm going to take a gander and go with this one right here. I'll give you that one right there. So pretty much you're supposed to, I don't know. Let's try a smaller one, shall we? I don't know. Maybe a smaller one? I mean, now I'm really going for a tiny. Maybe not for parsley. Alright, so let's go ahead and give it a shot and try something else. Maybe it'll work with that. So now let's try some sage. Ooh! Get all that off of there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try it with, let's see, this part again. We'll try it on the top one here. Nope. Let's try it on, see now the stem's too big. Okay. Not that one. So let's do this instead. I mean, I'm really trying here. I don't know about this one, you guys. This one's kind of... No. Alright, so next, it does say that thyme works. So let's try some thyme. And we'll go ahead and use this one right here, which will be this guy right there. Nope. You know what? Let's try it this side. Let's go smaller. It kind of works for thyme, but here's the thing. When I grab a stem of thyme, if you just go like that, that's it. Stage. Done. Look what it did to it. Like mangledness here. Alright, let's go ahead and try rosemary and maybe see if that works depending on the leaves. So we're going to go ahead and try the rosemary now. This is the last herb that we're going to go ahead and try on this because honestly, I'm not super impressed and I don't know. Are you? Maybe I'm using this wrong. If I am, leave me a comment. If you've had the same issues, I definitely want to know. Alright, we're trying it out here. Let's try the other side. Alright, I'm going to try that one right here. It's like the second down. Alright, the third down. Well, guys, I don't know about this one. I mean, besides having that sharp edge and the cutter and whatnot, maybe it has, you know, I haven't even tried this part yet. And honestly, just touching it doesn't seem super sharp. It seems more dangerous of anything. So, I'm gonna say we're gonna put this aside and go through the last couple things here, judge these all, but I have a feeling that this one's gonna be we'll wait till the end. Alright guys, so this herb stripper, it didn't do anything. This one was a 4.4 star review, believe it or not, on Amazon. And then on other sites and around, it was about a 4.1. I don't know, I really can't imagine this working too well. Maybe I'm using it wrong, so definitely leave me a comment if that's the case, because, I mean, at least with thyme, it should be able to just, you know, seamlessly, flawlessly pull through, just like if I had with my finger. Maybe it's just not sharp enough? I'm not sure. So, anyways, yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know, because this one was very disappointing. Alright, guys. So, now that I'm back with the last kitchen gadget, we've got our Nihome, and this one is a pizza cutter. So it's got a big old warning on the package. Yeah, I will not be playing with this plastic bag. In fact, there's like 2 plastic bags in this. Holy Toledo. Alright, well, let's open the first plastic bag, shall we? And now to the second plastic bag, because I'm not sure why we would need a separate pouch for this. I mean, I guess you could use it for something else. Maybe, I'm not sure. Anywho, let's go ahead and oh my gosh, are you kidding me? A third plastic bag. Well, just a smidge excessive, I have to say. And look at that. So this one is a pizza cutter and also a pizza spatula. And on the description online, it says it's a pizza scissor cutter. So apparently, what detaches? Oh, so that detaches so you can pick up your pizza slice. Okay, so I get that. That's cool. Well, shall we test it out? Alright, you guys, this one got a 4.5 star review on Amazon and a couple of other sites as well, so we'll definitely test this one out. And this one was $8.99 on Amazon. It was not on sale at the time, so, I mean, if it works, great price. If it doesn't, meh. But again, I'm so used to using a pizza cutter or a knife, so we'll see how this goes. are we ready to try this one out? So let's go ahead and try this out on our pizza. This is a frozen pizza. I did not make this. I would never put, what? Oh my gosh, like 4 1/4 mushrooms on this thing? Yeah, pretty much. Slices, that is, not even a whole mushroom. So that's probably like a half of a mushroom on this pizza. And before I cut it, I'm not joking, look at this. It's pretty sad. Plus, was not impressed with the price, but I needed a pizza for the video today. Maybe I should go ahead and make a video and show you guys how to make baked pizza at home. That one's actually really fun. Hey, I'm part Italian, because there's no need to be afraid of making some dough. No pun. Alright guys, let's go ahead and test these bad boys out. We'll find out. Alright, let's give this a cut. Oh my gosh. I mean, this pizza has been sitting out for some time, so not only is it like the kind of thin crust, but also too very cracker-like right now, because it dried out sitting out as a prop. And I gotta say, whoa, that really worked. I really don't want to, give it too much credit because I'm just so used to using the pizza roller, the pizza cutter, and, it really didn't take that much time. Let's go ahead and try it again. Give it a couple shots here, shall we? Okay, that's like regular scissors. They're pretty sharp. Especially too, because that crunchy crust since it dried out. Well, I gotta say, those actually worked. Let's go ahead and use the multi-tool. So you can take them apart like this. Of course, do be careful because that is sharp. And then you're supposed to be able to use this as the pizza spatula, or, the slice picker-upper, whatever you want to call it. And there you go. Of course, I did use my hand, so let's try that once again. That actually worked. In fact, let's do this. Because why not test it all the way? So, let's go ahead and give this another cut. And then take these apart again. And I guess you're supposed to use this side. See, that's the part I don't know. I'm going to say any side would work, right? Well, that kind of worked. That's pretty nice, actually. I'm a little bit afraid, though, if there's kids and whatnot, when you're picking this up. So I would probably not have this around kids, unless you're doing it for them. So, all right, let me go ahead and wash these off, and I will be back here. And I might have just a little tiny piece of pizza in the meantime. That was not good. I would not recommend. Ooh! Alright, so the pizza cutter, the Nyhome, was the 4.5 star reviewed on Amazon, and then that one was $8.99. Actually, that kind of really worked well, so I don't know about the whole portion of this part. It doesn't seem like it would. Seems a little slippery. Hey, I'm judgy, I guess, with these kind of things, because I want them to work if they're going to be budget and, higher reviews, so. But, the whole pizza part did work pretty well, so. Now we're ready for our bonus round, and this one's going to be a very popular kitchen appliance that has been around for quite some time. It's a popular brand, and let's just say I'm going to be putting this one to the test. So let's go ahead and check it out, shall we? Alright, you guys, bonus round for budget kitchen appliance. So today we're going to be testing out this Ninja Express chopper. I got this one for $19.95 on sale at Target, And typically it's about $35 or so online or at the box stores, but a lot of times you can find this, especially during the holidays and to like any holiday time. You can find it on sale online as well. All right, so this one got a 4.7 star review. That's the average review that I got for about 5 or 6 different websites, including Amazon as well. So we'll go ahead and package this and open it up. Hopefully it doesn't have so much plastic, but never mind. Ooh. All right, so it looks like that's the top. We'll move this guy out of the way here. And then it comes with instructions, a little caution thing here going on. More cardboard. All right, so this is the container part of it with the blade and more plastic. All right, and that's it. So that's kind of nice that there's not all the other extra stuff. All right, so this one looks like it's the processing bowl, and it's got a little guy here that you can flip down and cover once used. I am going to take off the warning sticker because, well, I don't need it. And in fact, we'll go ahead and put that warning sticker on this pizza so nobody eats it. All right, so just open that guy up. There's a little lid right here that closes. That way, if you want to store any product in here, you can. It does say to take off the blade, of course, that way you don't get your hands cut. And it looks like it's all completely covered, so nothing's going to leak out of it, which is awesome. So the first step is the blade. Now the blade is pretty nice, actually, quite sharp, and it's not just one, it's a multi-blade, so that's nice. Not like your typical small ones where you get for like $12.95, $14.95 or so. So kind of great to spend the extra couple bucks on this one, but we'll go ahead and wait and see if it works. All right, and then it does say to go ahead and put the top on, and that one just snaps right on. And then you would just go ahead and do one of these and turn it on. We'll go ahead and test it out with 3 different things here to really beat it to hell to see if it really works. All right, see you in a few moments. Oh, okay, super easy. I like that. All right, well, let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the light thing here. It is frozen, so they are chock hard here. You know, I could, it's like BB gun pellets over here. So let's go ahead and dump these in, and not all over the counter. All right. And then again, we're gonna go ahead and line that up, close it up. Oh! That worked. Whoa! That is awesome. Well, now I can make a split pea soup. I mean, no joke. I was not expecting that. Those were frozen solid, which they still are actually. But look at that. Look at that. It's like, it's practically like pea powder. It's powder. Looks like matcha. Kind of interesting. Well, that's fantastic because I wanted to see if it actually works so I can make, like, split pea soup or something like that. All right, so that worked out really nice. We'll go ahead and see what we can do with these carrots and then with this ice as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and try some carrots here and see what it does. That was impressive with those peas. Whoops! And don't throw your carrots all over the counter. All right, guys, now that we have these all in here, let's test this out and see what it does to some carrots. That's it. That is awesome. I'm gonna have like the best soup ever. Check this out. Also very festive for the times. Seeing it's the holidays. Look at that. Like practically pulverized. I'm actually impressed with this little guy. Worth the money for sure. I'm gonna test it out for a while and see how it works. And let me know in the comments. I can do another review here, maybe like, I don't know, a year and a half, and let you know how it's still working and see how the blade's doing. See how the motor's doing as well. I guess that would be the motor. And of course, seeing how this holds up as well for the plastic part. We'll see how it holds up. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do the last one. That one is going to be ice. So let me go ahead and give this a quick rinse, and I'll go ahead and see if we can pulverize some ice. Alright guys, so we've got our last challenge here for this bad boy. It's been working out pretty darn good so far, so let's go ahead and try it with the ice. Let's go ahead and crush some ice and see how this goes with ice. Okay, I think I have plenty here to kind of cover half of it. So let's go ahead and get this aligned here. And that's a little tough with this guy on here. Alright, let's see if we got this. Nope. Oh, hold on. Heard a little snappy. And my pumpkin rolled away. Alright, let's go ahead and try this out. That's gonna get loud. Oh, that's awesome! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have not been this excited about snow. I could literally make a snowball out of this. And I think I'm gonna try. But literally, it's like snowball consistency. Look at that. Don't stick your hands in there. That's sharp, by the way. Alright, let me go ahead and try to take this out here. That way I don't cut myself. Look! I gotta take a chunk out. Look at that! It is snow. In fact, I'm making a snowball now. I'm gonna make a snowball. Oh my gosh. This is so much fun! Well, guys, if you want to make a snowball at home and you live in a hotter climate than you do like myself right now, and it's not snowing out here quite yet, that is awesome. Also too, oh my gosh, snow cones and all sorts of stuff. This is super cool. I cannot believe that this worked out so well. Well guys, now that I've made some snowballs and had a blast with this little guy here, let's go ahead and play Stuff It or Dump It. Alright guys, so we started out with the Mudder or Mudder 4-piece set finger peeler. And this one, it worked out pretty good. I have to say though, lots of plastic. That's what it is. And also too, this might not work for everybody if you have bigger fingers, just because this might slip out. And it also doesn't give you instructions on to whether this way, you know, that way, or this way. Clearly, the best way would be that way, but hey. And two, the other thing that was a little bit awkward was trying to peel with it and having to hold on to the sides. So for this one, I would say with carrots, things like that, that would work great. You know, cucumbers, maybe not mini cucumbers, that's not going to work out so well. But, you know, a little stocking stuffer, you know, for somebody that has smaller fingers would work great. So I'm going to say for these, we're going to go ahead and stuff them. Because for the price, let's face it, that was actually not too bad. So they did work, just not for mini cucumbers. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, and so the next one was the other one that was very hard to say, which was the TIZUXA 3-pack slicer cutter tool. And that one also becomes a container for whatever you're slicing. So these obviously come apart at the bottom. Slice this way. And then you can go ahead and put this right back on, which was a bit challenging for one of them for some reason. There we go. And then you would put everything back in there. So that one was a 4.1 star review at $6.99 for 3 of these guys, also on sale with Amazon. So you can pick those up as well. Now, I gotta say, it did what it did. You know, I'm gonna say it does not work well for things like carrots, things that are pretty tough. In fact, it could be a little bit dangerous just trying to push that down, even if you use that lid, which I don't think you're supposed to. So if you're doing basic strawberries, bananas, things like that, sure, even an egg, that would be great. So for this one, I would say it does the job for the strawberries and bananas and soft things like cucumber. So let's go ahead and stuff it. Well, I know which one I'm going for now. It was the third one that we had, which was not awesome. This one would be the JIE Edge herb stripper, made out of stainless steel. Also has your little herbs printed on here, and a supposed sharp cutting tool, which is, well, not so sharp. In fact, I don't know about this one. I would not be regifting this. Here's why. You saw what it did to the herbs. Didn't do anything except mangle them and make them look horrible. When it's so easy just to like give it a quick cut, even with a pair of scissors. So for this one here, I don't know, guys. This one is gonna be a dump it. Alright, so that one somehow got a 4.4 star review on Amazon, and it was $5.99 for 1 pack. This one also was on sale. And now for our fourth gadget, for the Nihome. This one is for the pizza cutter slicer. So this one is the pizza cutter that we used on this very frozen grocery store suspicious pizza that was very, very crunchy and crispy and stayed out for quite some time. So it's dried out quite a bit. Don't mind the warning sticker on there from this guy. Warning, don't eat it. I tried and then I stopped. So this one was actually pretty cool. Yes, it does cut. I wonder though, like how sharp it's gonna stay and how long. The other thing too, this part on the top wasn't great, but it did work. It did what it needed to do. Just wish it wasn't, I don't know, as slippery. Maybe something more textured, not sure. Or, you know, silicone, something that has grip to it. So, but it did the job. I mean, it really did cut the pizza, so I'm not going to complain about this. So for this one, I wouldn't necessarily go ahead and, you know, do it as a gift giving. So surprisingly enough, you guys, it's going to be a chuck it. Sorry, but I had to change my mind. Because when you think about it, if you're going to spend, oh my gosh, $8.99 on this, and I could just get a pizza cutter, I mean, unless you don't have, like, I don't know, like a spatula or, I mean, if you don't have anything to pick your pizza up with, I guess this would come in handy. But honestly, sorry guys, this one's going in the chuck it pile. I wouldn't be gifting this to people. That's just my opinion, but do leave me a comment. Maybe it works great for you. Maybe you don't have a lot of space, and so this is something that comes in handy. Let me know. So let's go ahead and talk about this lovely, fun Ninja appliance. Honestly, I gotta say, this one's a win. For the appliance, I think it actually worked really well, especially with the ice. I mean, it literally like pulverized it enough to make it into a snowball. That was freaking cool. And I'm gonna have to remember that when it's not too cold and I wanna have a little snowball fight outside. Maybe a mini snowball fight. That would be cute. Let me know in the comments if you've tried making snowballs before with this little ninja chopper guy. I thought it was great. Anyways, guys, this did the job for sure. It definitely does what it says. It chops, it minces, it purees. It's true. So this one, I'm going to give it a win-win. And unfortunately, this bag is so full, there's no way that I can stuff this. So yeah, guys, I was impressed by this one. I'm going to go ahead and test it out for quite some time, and I know I'm going to probably put it into quite a bit of use. So this one ended up being $19.95 at the grocery store. Typically it's about $35 or so online or at any box store, but you can always find it on sale during like the holidays and whatnot. This one was a 4.7 star review, and that's an average star review for online as well as any of the stores that were offering it at the time as well. Mind you, this was on sale, so it was a pretty good price, and for what it does, I'm actually impressed. By the way, everything that I tested out today, not sponsored, so I'm giving you my honest and true review on this one. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to hold on to this one because I have a feeling I'm going to be using this quite a bit. It was a cool guy here. This one was really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and test it out for like the next year and a half, and then get back to you for all the gadgets that I've kept and used and see how they hold up. Especially to like, the plastic on this. Let's see if it starts cracking. Also to the blade. Let's check out and see what the longevity of that blade is and if it stays sharp throughout. Alright, you guys. Well, I gotta say, I had a lot of fun today, and I really appreciate you guys for joining me for the show today. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you can get more videos, because guess what? Now you can binge on them! Hooray! And by the way, I'm putting up recipes here and there on Facebook and Instagram. Alright guys, let me know what you thought about these gadgets today, and definitely let me know if you've used any of them, and if you would recommend or not recommend some of these. Maybe I was doing something wrong with that herb cutter. I don't know. You let me know. Alright guys, I don't know about you, but I had fun today. That was a lot of fun testing out all those kitchen gadgets. I was kind of surprised with some, and then of course with others, not so much. But again, do leave me a comment. I definitely want to know what you think of these. And of course, I'm glad I tested them out for you so you don't have to. Oh, and I don't recommend eating this pizza either. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit like, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get more videos now that I've got a bunch up. Alright, well, in the meantime, I will see you next time. And don't forget about the Minimum Wager's Kitchen. Bye! 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 See you next time. Bye! Hi guys, welcome back to another Minimum Wager's Kitchen. I'm Gigi, and today I'm going to be testing two mini dash kitchen appliances. Today I'm going to be testing, for the first one, that's actually going to be the Express Mini Cupcake Maker, and I'm also going to be testing out the Express Mini Donut Maker. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Alright you guys, so for today, for the Dash Mini Donut Maker, I'm actually going to be making a donut glaze to go with that. And for the cupcakes, I'm going to go ahead and make a cream cheese vanilla cream to top these off at the end. Oh, and by the way, I'll also include too how much these two Dash Mini appliances were when I purchased them, what the review is online, and I'll also be giving my own review. So let's go ahead and get started on testing these out, shall we? Alright you guys, so we'll go ahead and start out here with the Dash Express Mini Cupcake Maker, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the box first because I want to get some information on this. First off, they do say that it does include the recipe. The other nice thing too, there is a 2-year warranty, so that's good to know. I always try to see if there's like anywhere on the box or the instructions, just in case if you need a little help, you can call or email or go on their tech support site. So let me take a look here, and they do. Awesome. So they actually have a hotline number right here, and you can go ahead and do that. I thought I saw, oh, let's see here. Oh, and I guess you can also scan it too to see how it works. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So it does say that you can do all sorts of stuff. It's not just cupcakes. I see muffins as well. I am seeing, it looks like something savory here as well. And we'll take a look at the recipes too to see what's on here. Now it does say it makes 9 1 1/4 mini cupcakes. It also has a easy lifting tray, so I'm assuming it's easy to clean or easy to pick up. And then it does have that non-stick surface. So, and then ready to decorate is what it says on the box here. All right, well, let's take a look. Anything else? Wow, so it makes up to 3 dozen gourmet cupcakes or muffins in under 10 minutes. That's not bad. It's easy and fast, so there's a little lifting tray you can use, and yeah. Oh, wow. So yeah, you can just pick up the little lifting tray and just move them over to cool off. Fun for all, they say. And then it's supposed to be quick cleaning, so nonstick plates and lifting tray release cupcakes easily for better results and cleanup. All right, well, let's put this to the test and see if it does what it says. So let's go ahead and start unboxing this here. A lot of information. All right, so yeah, there's a little support phone number and whatnot on here. And little registration. One of those. All right, so let's go ahead and open this here. I'm going to tilt this here, make it a little bit easier. And I wonder if it is going to be that purple color. I think there's one that says on the box. Oh, here's the instructions. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out of here. Oh, it is purple. That's pretty. Ooh. I wonder if there's different color options. I'll have to look that up. So yeah, that's the instructions right there. I'll go ahead and go through these here in a little bit. So let's take that off. And so that obviously pops up. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I see how this works. You line it up like that, fill those in, and then you're supposed to do like release them. Well then, this is pretty cool. Well, let me move all that. Alright, so there's the unboxed version. Got that all out of the box. And it does have that little tray that comes out like that. And that's supposed to be the quick release for the muffins or the cupcakes. Now, I just want to make sure I'm not scratching this up. Alright, and then it would click. And move this back so I can show you. There's a little release right here. So yeah. And it's got the rounded parts here, so that way your muffin can have that nice little round part. And I mean, these are really, really mini too. They're like itty bitty, tiny mini cupcakes. So that one is unboxed here. All right, so it did come with instructions, and let's go ahead and open this up. It's quite the instruction packet here. All right, so there you go. Let's take a look here. All right, so the blue one is the indicator light, and then you do have the cover handle, the cover itself here, the cooking surface, silicone handles, the easy lift tray, and then the built-in cupcake molds. So let me go ahead and reline that up. Here we go. All right, next. All right, so the instructions do say to go ahead and spritz or spray your whole area with a little bit of oil. They do recommend not to use aerosol oil. Oh, so I guess the aerosol sprays contain additives that can cause the surface to become sticky, and therefore it becomes hard to clean. So that's a great tip to know. What I'll be using today is just a little bit of olive oil with like a paper towel or whatnot, just to wipe it a little bit and make sure that we add to that non-stick surface. Alright, so I will be making the actual recipes from the instructions themselves here. They do have a little recipe guide, and some of these are actually, they look pretty darn good. But we're going to go ahead and keep it simple today because, you know, we're testing these out and reviewing them. And I just want to see how their basic recipes pan out today. So today I'm going to be doing the mini vanilla cupcakes recipe that they have in their little booklet here. And that one is the one right here. And then for the cupcakes, I will go ahead and make my own recipe, which is a vanilla cream cheese cream to top those yummy little cupcakes that we're going to go ahead and make with this fun little Dash mini cupcake appliance. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab the donut maker now, and let's go ahead and take a look at that one, do a little bit of unboxing, and go through the recipe for that one as well. See you in just 2 seconds. And now for the unboxing for the Dash Express Mini Donut Maker. This one too I'm very excited to try out today. I also heard that this one has pretty good ratings, and that's the reason why I decided to buy both of these to test them out and review them today as well. So for this one, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. So first off, let's actually take a look at the box here. Again, same thing, it does have recipes included. It says it serves about 2 to 4 people, and then there is supposed to be a 2-year warranty. And this one as well has the Dash support hotline information and the scan to get information as well on here. Now those look really yummy, and I sure hope that they do come out like that, because oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Alright, so it says it makes 7 mini donuts. You can go around the package here. And with the recipes, you're supposed to be able to do 50 combos. We're not going to be doing all of those today because I definitely want to test this out and review it, but we will be making some donuts and some glaze to go with it as well. Yum! Alright, let's go ahead and unbox this. So the packaging is pretty much the same as the other one, except, you know, donuts. So same thing. Has a little guide thing here, a little warranty, and pretty much set the same way. There's the instructions. Nice that they actually gave some stuff that's recyclable. I know in my last video that I did reviews, it was like all plastic, like non-stop, like just, you'll just have to go watch the video. And it has the same clip. Oh, no clip on this one. Alright. So there's the mini donut maker. I don't think this comes off. Nope. But let's go ahead and check out the instructions on this. I do like the seafoam green. Definitely with my kitchen, I feel like it really goes. So let's go ahead and go through the instructions. So, same with the other one, there's recipes inside as well. Alright, so this one as well has the indicator light, and that one's right here. And then cover lid, got the little cover handle here as well, and the nonstick donut mold plate. Alright, so the instructions are saying to place the appliance on a stable, flat, heat-resistant surface. And the tip that they are giving is to make sure that you're laying it on a heat-resistant lining, such as a cooking tray or whatnot. You can add a kitchen towel underneath just to make sure that way there's a little bit of a heat protection there. And that's really just so that you're just saving yourself from getting drips all over if that's going to happen. So what they say is to allow the appliance to fully preheat. And actually the indicator light will go ahead and turn off when it's ready. Alright, and they do say to go ahead and put a little bit of oil or butter onto the inside of the donut mold as well. Next step would be to go ahead and add your batter, which would be 3/4 just onto that little area right there, onto the mold. And then you would go ahead and put your lid down, let these cook, and just follow the instructions how they have it on the recipe here for the donuts that we'll be making. After that, we'll go ahead and flip these over with either a toothpick or a fork, and then let them cook a little bit longer. And once those are cooled and ready to go, I'm going to be making some delicious vanilla glaze to go with those, and a little bit of a cinnamon sugar topping as well. So we'll be making 2 different kinds of toppings for the donuts. Alright you guys, I'm excited to try these out, and it looks like a lot of fun. So let me go ahead and gather all the ingredients, and I'll be back in just a few moments to start making the batter for the mini cupcakes and the donuts. And then after that, once we have those all set up, I'll show you how to make those toppings. Yum! See you in just a moment. Alright you guys, I've got all the ingredients here for the cupcakes, and I have their instructions here for their recipe. So here is their recipe for the mini vanilla cupcakes. Alright, so for the ingredients, they say it yields 36 cupcakes, and today for the ingredients it's going to be 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. They say 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm a little wary to put that much, so I'm going to just go ahead and throw in there 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 4 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. For the next ingredient, that's going to be a 1/2 cup of just regular granulated sugar, 1 beaten egg, a 1/2 cup of whole milk, and I'm going to go ahead and substitute their suggestion of 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract with this delicious Trader Joe's bourbon vanilla bean paste. Picked it up today, so I want to go ahead and use this instead. Alright, so we'll start with the ingredients here, and they're saying on their directions, in a medium bowl, combine flour, baking powder, and salt. So we'll go ahead and combine the flour here, the baking powder, and the salt. And now we give it a quick mix. Alright, so we'll go ahead and set this aside. And they say in a large bowl, go ahead and beat the butter. Go ahead and dump that in there. And the sugar. You guys know, I like to just go ahead and crush that guy there. That way you don't get butter and sugar everywhere. You have a starting point. They do say to start on low, so we'll go ahead and start on low here. And they say to go ahead and mix it until nice and fluffy. Well, that took no time at all, and that is nice and fluffy. Alright, so now they're saying to add the egg. Alright, right in there. And the milk. And instead of the vanilla bean extract, how they're suggesting, I'm going to go ahead and use this Trader Joe's bourbon vanilla bean paste. And I'm going to go ahead and use the same ratio for this recipe. All the wet ingredients are in the bowl now, and they suggest to go ahead and start on low speed. And make sure that this is really mixed well. Now that that's mixed, they say to add the dry ingredients slowly into the mix. So I'll just go ahead and add a little at a time here and start on low how they're suggesting. So that is done, and that is the batter here for the mini vanilla cupcakes. I'll actually show you here. You might be able to see the vanilla bean pieces in there too. Yeah. Hopefully you can see them. I don't smell a lot of vanilla, but we'll see too when they bake off. And yeah. Alright, now that our batter is done, just like the recipe here says on their instructions, besides the teaspoon of vanilla extract that I substituted, let's go ahead and put this aside for just a second. And now we're going to go ahead and fill this piping bag up with the cupcake batter. They do suggest to go ahead and use a gallon bag. Unfortunately today I don't have a Ziploc gallon bag, so I'll just go ahead and use what I have available. I'm sure you can use a quart bag as well and just split it into two. And now we fill. And you know me, I really like to make sure I use everything up because, well, minimum waitress kitchen. Well, happy that worked out. So now I'm going to leave the top like this because I'm going to be cutting about that much off. Oh, you can kind of see that much off to go ahead and fill the little cupcake molds. Alright you guys, so the Mini Dash Express cupcake maker is ready here. So the light turned off and I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So there's that little hand release. And this will get a little messy for me because I did get overzealous on the how much batter I put into this. So they say to just fill it up 3/4 of the way. And I'm pretty sure I filled that up just a little too much. But honestly, with the piping bag, it's pretty easy. Wow, that's really cooking right away. I better work fast. So now this makes 36 and, well, it makes 9 on this. Let's go ahead and close this. And now we're going to go ahead and cook these for about 2 to 3 minutes per the instruction. And then we should be able to carefully remove these with the little easy tray tabs here. So I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. There we go. And I'm just going to let this be and see what happens. All right, I'll be back in about 3 minutes. All right, time's up. So I did them for 3 minutes. So let's take a look here. Ooh, I think they're baked through, but they're not all releasing. All right, let's see if I can pop these out. Oh my gosh, these are so freaking super hot. By the way, if you've watched enough of my videos now, you know that I'm terrible about grabbing an oven mitt. My goodness. Yeah, don't pick really crazy hot stuff up with your hands like I am right now. Just saying. Well, you guys, that, oh my gosh, that absolutely worked. The only thing is, while I was, the only thing is, while I was watching this in the 3 minutes that I was baking, or cooking, I guess, the light did light up. So it did have to preheat a little bit, but I don't think that it really matters because it's still cooked these all the way through. These are darling. I mean, granted, I have tiny hands, but that's so cute. And oh my gosh, I wish I had a little plate for that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of the batter here. Finish this off, let these all cool down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make that really delicious vanilla cream cheese cream to go ahead and put on top of these tiny itty bitty, not muffins, cupcakes. All right, so this is round 3. So let me see if oh, they all did come out this time. I just wasn't filling these enough apparently. So let's see here. So you're supposed to release them and boomity boom, look at that. Oh, how cute. Well, I have one more batch to go. So once these are cooled, I'll go ahead and show you how to make the donut recipe on the other Dash mini appliance there. And after that, we'll go ahead and make some toppings for these. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish these off and I'll show you what these look like in just a few moments. While we wait for Cupcakes to finish up here in 18 seconds, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Alright, so all the little tiny mini cupcakes are done. I said muffins earlier and I really meant cupcakes here. But anyhow, I'm going to let this guy cool. The one thing I noticed that I'm not too keen on is that there is really no like on and off button. You have to go and plug it in or unplug it. So now I've gone ahead and unplugged it. I'm going to go ahead and let this cool down open like this and then just give it a quick wash, quick clean, and then yeah, I think I'm going to be using this again, quite frankly. Let me show you. It did definitely yield the 36 cupcakes like they're saying. There was just a little bit of leftover batter, but I went ahead and made all of these for you guys. So yeah, so 36 of those. Whoa! My gosh, I feel like these would be perfect for like if you were doing some sort of fun like whimsical cake or something and having these as like the mushrooms. Oh, this is so cute! Oh my gosh. Darling. Just darling. Well, I really don't think these are going to take a very long time to cool considering how small they are. So I'm going to go ahead and put these aside for right now. Let's see if the mini donut maker works as well as the mini cupcake maker. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so next we're going to go ahead and be making the classic mini donuts, and that's the suggested recipe in their little booklet here. And our little guy here is ready to go, preheated. I also went ahead and added just a little bit of oil with a paper towel around the top and the bottom of the donut molds. That way things don't get all sticky. Alright, so let's get started on the recipe for the classic mini donuts suggested on the guide here. Alright, so for that classic mini donut recipe, they're saying it yields 28 donuts, and for the ingredients, it's going to be 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, ½ cup of granulated sugar, a ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 large beaten egg, a ½ cup of regular whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Today I'm going to be subbing this with that Trader Joe's bourbon vanilla bean paste. And for the last ingredient, that's going to actually be 4 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter. And I'll go ahead and melt this when we're ready to mix everything together. For their directions, it says mix together the flour, baking powder, salt, and the sugar. So now we'll go ahead and incorporate all these together and make sure they're nicely mixed. Alright, so now that the dry ingredients are well mixed together, it does say to go ahead and whisk together the egg, milk, vanilla extract, and butter in a separate bowl. So let's go ahead and grab a separate bowl here. And now for the egg and the milk, our vanilla bean paste. Or I guess that's Trader Joe's vanilla bean paste. Not sponsored. Quickly melt our butter. And while we wait for the butter, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when the next video's up. Butter is ready. Alright, since I did just melt that butter, I'm going to go ahead and give the eggs and the milk and everything a quick stir. Well, I guess the vanilla bean paste. And slowly add the butter here so that way we're not cooking everything, meaning the egg. So now that we have that mixture there of our wet ingredients, and now we whisk this all together. Now they do say to really mix this so that it is well incorporated. and I can understand why. So make sure that there's no lumps, no flour at the bottom of your bowl. So make sure you scrape with your whisk on the sides and on the bottom. And that's what that batter should look like. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside for just a second. We're also gonna put this in a piping bag as well. So we can go ahead and put this into our mini dash donut maker. I'll see you in just a second. All right, you guys, so same thing like the cupcake batter. I went ahead and put that into a piping bag and then just cut the tip off about that much. That way you can get full coverage for the donuts. So it does say to go ahead and use a gallon bag as well. Again, use what you have. So for this one, now that everything's preheated here, the light is off, go ahead and make sure you cover the bottom, and you want it to be 3/4 of the way full. So I'm going to go ahead and get these going here. And again, it does say that it yields 28. And the reason I have that pan underneath is just in case if there's a little bit of a batter that gets out of the molds here. That way it's not a huge mess. Yeah. Because I can totally see how that could happen. Nice thing too, it seems like it's like cooking them right away. And let's go ahead and close this. Alright, so I've got my timer on for about 1.5 minutes here. And after that, it does say to go ahead and flip them over and cook them for another 4 minutes. I'll see you in just about 1.5 minutes. Instructions, it does say 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take these out at 3 minutes because they really do look cooked. Oh my gosh, yes. So, let's take these out. Ooh, hot, hot. And, ooh, these look so cute. And I'm going to go ahead and close this so that way it stays heated here. Alright, so let me show you these. Oh my gosh, how cute. These are adorable. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this batter here, let these all cool down, and then I'll show you what they look like. See you in just a few moments. Alright, you guys, so the donuts are done. And if you didn't notice, they do say a toothpick. You can pretty much use anything, including a fork. Just make sure you're not scratching the non-stick surface on here, and that way you're good to go. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at these mini donuts. Oh my gosh, whoops! And there goes one sliding right off. There we go. Alright, so yeah, look at these. They are so cute. They do smell really good too. And they have a little bit of spring. Although I have to say that unlike regular donuts, you know, like fried donuts, these are pretty much baked donuts. So it is going to have just a slight crust on the top here, but we're going to go ahead and glaze these in just a few moments. So in the meantime, while these cool down and our cupcakes are cooled down, so let's go ahead and make some of that delicious vanilla cream cheese cream to go on top of our very cute, very tiny, itty bitty cupcakes. Alright, I'll see you in just a second. By the way, it was a good idea and a good suggestion by the Dash Company to go ahead and make sure you have something underneath, because there was a little bit of moisture, and so that would have gotten all over the counter. So yeah, and it was hot, so kind of saves the counter from, you know, getting damaged. Alright, you guys, so mini cupcakes are all cooled down. Aren't those cute? Oh my gosh, they're just so precious. And then for the mini donuts, and there you go. Whoop! Let's go ahead and put those back on there. Sliding right off. But yeah, so there you go. And these are pretty much all cooled down. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and make that delicious topping for our mini cupcakes. So what I'm going to be making is a vanilla bean and cream cheese whipped cream topping for these guys right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in a piping bag just to make it easier because they are so tiny. Alright, so let's get started with the ingredients. For the ingredients today, that's going to be 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, a 1/2 cup or 4 ounces of just regular cream cheese, and you want to make sure that's softened. We're also going to be using a 1/4 cup of just regular granulated sugar, and 3 teaspoons of that delicious bourbon vanilla bean paste from Trader Joe's. Not sponsored. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the ingredients together here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the heavy whipping cream. Pour that right in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and dump the sugar right in as well. And the vanilla bean paste as well. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start the mixer here on low. What I'm going to do is go ahead and mix this for about 1 minute to 2 minutes until it starts thickening. Basically, you want all those little bubbles to go away, turn into a thicker cream, but not quite whipped cream yet. Alright, you guys, let me show you what the consistency should be. There you go. So, starting to, get a little bit creamier there, a little bit thicker. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is add that cream cheese. And now we mix on low. So this is going to go pretty fast. You should have a nice thick whipped consistency here for the cream in about 2 minutes or so. The goal here is to make it a little bit thicker than regular whipping cream. Alright, so that is done. About 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. And let me show you what the consistency should be. Now, it really almost looks like buttercream, and that's the consistency you want. It will be fluffier, obviously, and lighter just because it is whipping cream. But you'll get that nice, thick consistency. And really, you just want it to stick to your spoon. Let me show you how to go ahead and ice these. I was going to start from the outside, but because they're so small, let's see if this works. Hooray, it does! Look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Now for them to not tip over. Alright, so go ahead and start from the outside. And there we go. Look at that. They're so cute. I might have to put sprinkles or something on these too. Alright, so let's take a look here. Do that again. Ta-da. And if you need to, you can go ahead and pat those down. Alright, let me show you a couple more here. So we'll start from the outside. And there we go. Another one here. Super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all finished up, and after that I will show you how to make that yummy glaze for the mini donut. See you in just a second. Alright you guys, so the mini cupcakes, or the mini cupcakes are done. Let me show you. Aren't those cute? Oh my gosh, these are like super adorable. I love it. And then for the rest of these, whoops, getting frosting on myself, and I just dropped one on the counter. Son of a biscuit eater. Well, I'll show you here. So these are the ones that are frosted. Yeah. And that's obviously with that cream there. So they have the cream topping, that is. I went ahead and just added this without that little star tip. That way you can see you don't have to be like super fancy and have like all these different, piping bag tips and whatnot. And then I did want to show you the mistake I made. I definitely did not put enough for like the last one, which was the very, very tiny one. And as you can see, it didn't really brown on the top, and I feel like it burned on the bottom. So I just wanted to show you because I'm pretty sure that Yeah, that one smells a little bit burnt. Alright, so those are done, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple sprinkles on here, put them aside, and let's go ahead and make that donut glaze now. Alright, see you in just a few moments. Now that our mini cupcakes are done, let's go ahead and make that glaze for the mini donut. So for the ingredients, all we're going to need is 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I'm going to go ahead and substitute it with that bourbon vanilla bean paste. Alright, and for the last ingredient, that's about 2.5 teaspoons of heavy whipping cream. Alright, so for the directions that they give us, we're basically going to mix this until it's completely mixed and smooth and there's no lumps. And it will take a moment just because it will be very dry at first, but keep mixing. Guys, I don't know about this recipe. I've been mixing for a moment here, and I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the heavy whipping cream here. And I just went ahead and added like a half teaspoon, just to see where I'm going here. Alright, now that's turning more into a glaze, but still really thick. I mean, that looks like, you know, old school, like, grade school, like, paste. We need more cream. Alright, I've gone ahead and added another teaspoon here. Well, it's at this consistency now. There is no way that we can dip a donut in that, so adding another teaspoon. And this recipe is supposed to be for the thick glaze, but still, I am following their directions. Alright, well, not my first rodeo making a donut glaze or a dip, so that's what a thick consistency should look like. That way you can actually dip your donut. And the best way to do it is clean hands, of course. Stick your finger, and then the best way to do it is you can see if it stays on your finger or not. And that way too, you can actually check for lumps or like, you know, big pieces still. Like let's say if you didn't really mix your sugar that well. Alright, well, I'm gonna taste this. Yum. Alright, so I'm gonna scrape everything to the center. And by the way, you can use a way smaller bowl to go ahead and mix this. I just figured it's a little bit easier to show you, so that way you can see what it looks like. And you can see the little flecks of the vanilla bean in there as well. Alright, you guys, so I like to have a spoon in here just in case, so that way I can kind of scrape down my sides as I'm going along dipping these. I've gone ahead and pushed all the donuts over just because it's a little bit easier to work with. And if you've noticed, I went ahead and put a cookie sheet down and then a cooling rack on top. So that way, as we're dipping our donuts, we can go ahead and lay them down, and if they need to drip, it won't get everywhere. Alright, so let's get started, shall we? I'm excited about these. Best way to do this is grab your donut, and then all you're going to do is roundy round, and voila. There we go. One donut down. And we're going to go ahead and repeat that with all the rest. So just go around. And then, whoop, you give this a little bit more here. There you go. Roundy round. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish these, and then when I come back, I'll show you what they look like. See you in just a moment. So these are pretty much glazed. And all I did was I just dipped them for a couple moments, and then just put them on the sheet here. And did a little bonus here, just because why not? I made a little bit of cinnamon sugar, so it's just 1 part sugar and then 1/4 part cinnamon. And all I did was I glazed my donut, just put it into the bowl, swish around, and then I just drop that in there, move that around, and there you go. Now you have a cinnamon sugar donut as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let these rest. That way our glaze sets. So give these about a good 15 minutes or so. And then we're going to also try, oh my gosh, so many cupcakes, so many donuts. Yes, we're also going to go ahead and try the cupcakes as well here. These came out so super cute. Oh my gosh, look at that. Aren't these adorable? I can't wait to try all these. And when I come back, we'll go ahead and try these out together. See you in just a few moments. Alright you guys, I'm so excited to try these out, and I made a little bonus mini cupcake with the leftover cinnamon sugar. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and start with the mini cupcakes. I guess I'll bring the smaller plate here. These came out just super adorable. I cannot wait to try them with our delicious vanilla and cream cheese cream here. And boy, I hope you tried that recipe out. It's really easy to make and it's so good. And it also freezes too. Those will definitely freeze really well in the freezer. Alright, so let's go ahead and give this a taste. Oh my gosh, they're so tiny. So little. I mean, it's smaller than a mini cupcake, so I feel like it's like a mini cupcake. Alright, well, let's give this a taste. Mmm. That's yummy. And gone. I have to say with the recipe, it's not as sweet. I think that the cream that I put on top really does work well because it's got a little bit of that extra sweetness and a little bit of that bourbon flavor as well with the vanilla bean. So, yeah. But before I keep eating these, I do want to try the one with the cinnamon sugar. Yeah, I just rolled around the cinnamon sugar on the top there. Got frosting all over my hands. Let's try this one. That's good too. Oh, tasty. Because the mini dash instructions and recipe for this specific cupcake batter, it's not really sweet. I think the one with the cinnamon topping is so far my favorite. Really, really good. Well, I gotta say, these came out super cute. I did put a little sprinkles on top here just to make them more fun. And there we go. So you can see the one with the cinnamon sugar on there. Alright you guys, so let's try out the donuts and see what that's all about. So for the donuts, we've got the thick vanilla glazed donut and the cinnamon sugar donut as well. And that one is just less glazed, so half the glaze, and then I just went ahead and dipped it right into the cinnamon sugar. Alright, so let's go ahead and try the one with the thick vanilla glaze on top. Alright, let's go ahead and try this. Not quite donutty. I would say maybe more like a in between a donut and a cake donut. It's good. I am missing the most important part of a donut, which is fried. But as an alternative, these little guys right here, cooked in the little Dash Express mini donut maker, they actually came out pretty good. The recipe I feel like should be a little bit sweeter, but that's just me. But for the donut itself, I mean, the recipe is pretty darn good. Alright, so let's go ahead and try the one with the cinnamon and sugar. That is good. Well, I definitely recommend making that thick vanilla glaze and then adding that cinnamon sugar topping on top here. That came out really good, and it really does go well with the texture and to the consistency of these mini donuts. Well, in an attempt to not eat all of these, I'm going to go ahead and stop eating these, and I'm going to go ahead and plate these up for you, and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, well, let's go ahead and give these a review, and also too, let's go ahead and review the price on these. So for the price on these, typically at the grocery store that I go to, these were $28.87 for both. And I got them on sale, believe it or not, for $10.88, and that's for both of them, so $10.88 each. So not a bad deal. Now I have to say, I really like the Express mini cupcake maker. This one was super efficient and it did the job. And I have to say too, when it was starting to preheat while it was baking in between batches, did a fine job, nothing got burned, so kudos to this one. Now for the donut maker, and that's the Express mini donut maker. For this one, I liked it, but I have to say, I was expecting a fried donut, so that's just me and that's my palate. But overall, I mean, got the consistency of a donut, so more of a baked donut, and actually not too bad. It was pretty good. The recipe for the glaze itself, though, on the other hand, I think it was missing quite a bit of the cream, and they should probably add about 3 or 4 teaspoons of cream in there. But overall, they came out super cute, and look at these. They're like set and ready to go in no time at all. Alright, you guys, so to review the Express Mini Cupcake Maker, so this one, overall ratings and star review was a 4.7, and for the price, you know, especially being on sale, that's not bad. I mean, this is definitely something like a great gift for like Christmas, for the holidays, or even a birthday, or even too, like to make a bunch of mini cupcakes for like a party or like a get-together. It's super fun. I really enjoyed using this today. So for my star review on this one, I would have to actually give it a 4.8 or so, and here's the reason why. I really like the consistency of the cupcakes. When it was preheating, it still baked everything really evenly throughout on all 36 cupcakes that it yielded. So kudos to the Dash Express Mini Cupcake Maker. This one worked out really well. And then for the Dash Mini Express Donut Maker, for this one also got a 4.7 star review as an average online. Both of these do run about $32 to about $25 when they're not on sale. Alright, so for the mini donut maker, for this one, like I said, I like the consistency of the donuts. I was just really expecting fried, so I'm gonna have to give this one a 4.5. I really just was expecting that yummy like fried flavor for the donut as well. But as long as you know that the consistency is going to be more of a baked donut as opposed to a fried donut, I think this is a great buy. Well, you guys, I had a great time reviewing these for you today and testing them out too. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it really did make a lot of donuts and a ton of mini cupcakes. And I still cannot believe how tiny these are. It's so cute. Well, you guys, I had a great time making all of these mini cupcakes and mini donuts for you today. Well, you guys, I had a great time testing and reviewing these two Dash mini kitchen appliances, the mini cupcake maker, and, well, I guess that's the donut maker, and the mini cupcake maker. And I hope that you get to try the cream recipe here for cupcakes because it is quite delicious. Well, you guys, I had a great time today, and I will see you on the next Minimum Wager's Kitchen. See you next Saturday. Bye. 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 Bye.